Debt is often viewed negatively, but it is a powerful tool in the hands of the rich. Think of it as a two-sided tool. On one hand, it can help you become wealthy, but on the other hand, it can lead to financial struggles. Taking calculated risk can lead to substantial rewards, and debt can become your stepping stone toward prosperity. In this video, we'll explain the 5 ways rich individuals use debt to increase their wealth. And we'll also show you how you can harness its potential to drive your ambitions forward on your journey to financial success. 5 ways rich people make money with debt. People often get worried when they hear the word debt. You might have seen TV shows, books, and magazines all about how to get rid of debt. Even though debt might seem bad, it can be good if you use it the right way. One smart way to make debt work for you is through leverage. You might ask, what is leverage exactly? Leverage means using borrowed money to make your investment earnings bigger. It's like a way to make your profits grow even more than you thought they could. It helps you grow your money faster by using debt to increase your gains. Debt can help you become rich by using someone else's money to manage things that become more valuable over time. This creates extra money that adds up and grows what you own. The smart kind of debt lets you control something big with just a small monthly payment. The profit you get is part of what that big thing is worth, not what you pay each month. You see, lots of businesses begin by borrowing money, so the owner can have the funds to start and run things at the beginning. While the bank gets the interest and payments from the debt, the business owner owns the actual business and the value of the money it will make in the future. Debt gives people the money they need to make things worth a lot. Wealthy individuals make use of debt to increase their profits by borrowing money at low interest rates. This helps them gain more control over valuable things. When they have a large credit limit, their money and valuable things are like guarantees for loans that they can use for investing and running businesses. This way, their valuable things make money, while the money they borrowed is also making money all at once. This helps their wealth grow even more. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more incredible life-changing content. Now, let's move on. Let's look at the 5 ways that debt through the use of leverage can make you richer. Number 1. Leverage in real estate. Rich people use debt to invest in real estate. They like real estate, so they borrow money to purchase properties, even when they could pay the full amount right away. They do this because debt equals no taxes for them. Billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg sometimes choose to take out home loans even if they could easily afford to buy properties outright. For instance, Zuckerberg got a 30-year, 1.05% adjustable mortgage rate for his Palo Alto home. Despite being incredibly wealthy, he could easily purchase multiple $6 million homes with his estimated $15.6 billion fortune. So why opt for a mortgage? There are a few reasons for this. First, low-interest loans like mortgages can provide potential tax advantages. For someone like Mark Zuckerberg, borrowing money at an interest rate lower than the inflation rate means that it practically doesn't cost him anything. When you can borrow almost for free, it doesn't make sense to use your own money. Secondly, mortgages allow billionaires to keep their money invested in other places, where they might earn even more than what they would save by paying for the house in cash. This is a smart way to make the most of financial opportunities. Buying real estate is a powerful way to increase your capital using leverage. Even with just a 5% down payment, you can control properties that are worth many times your initial investment. For instance, with a $10,000 down payment, you could own a $200,000 house with a $2,000 monthly payment. The fascinating thing is that you earn returns on the entire loan amount, not just the money you put in. If the value of the real estate goes up, say, by 20% from $200,000 to $240,000, your $10,000 down payment ends up giving you a 300% return on your $40,000 investment return. Debt can also be used smartly to buy properties you can rent out or use as Airbnbs, creating a steady monthly income through leverage. The return you make from the rental income is based on the total borrowed amount, not just the money you use to buy the property. This setup can lead to really impressive returns. Number 2, leveraged buyout. Wealthy individuals also use a financial strategy called a leverage buyout to make big acquisitions. Think of it as when someone or a group of people want to buy a whole company. Instead of using only their own money, they borrow a substantial amount of money to make the purchase. This is like taking a big loan to buy something valuable. The interesting part is that the assets of the company they're buying, like its valuable stuff and properties, act as a type of guarantee for the borrowed money. This means if the buyers can't repay the loan, they might have to give those assets back to the lenders. But the goal is to make the company profitable so that it can generate enough money in the future. This future money is called cash flow. With this cash flow, they intend to pay off the debt they borrowed for the purchase. It's like using the money the company earns to pay back what they owe. When all goes well and they manage to pay off the borrowed money, the buyers end up owning the company. They gain a controlling interest, which means they get to make important decisions about how the company is run. Let's look at Elon Musk, who is the wealthiest person globally. He didn't use all his own money when he bought Twitter for $44 billion. Instead, he employed a smart move known as a leveraged buyout. He only put in a portion of his own money and then borrowed $13 billion to complete the purchase. This way, he managed to acquire Twitter using a combination of his funds and borrowed money. Number 3. Margin account. A margin account is a special type of account that some people use when they buy stocks. It's like a deal with a stockbroker. The broker lends the person money or shares, and in return, the person uses their account as a promise to pay back what they borrowed. This is something that wealthy individuals often do. With a margin account, investors and traders can make bigger trades than they would if they only used their own money. It's like being able to buy more expensive stocks even if you don't have all the money for them right away. For instance, if you had $50,000 in a regular brokerage account, you could choose to open a margin account. This means you'd have to put in $25,000, which is half the price, and the broker lends you the other $25,000. So you could buy stocks worth a total of $100,000 with that combined money. If the stock prices go up, you can pay back the loan and keep the profit. But there's a catch. If the value of your account drops too much, your broker might ask you to add more money to your account. If you can't do that, the broker might sell your stocks to get their money back, which can lead to losses for you. Number 4. Short selling. Short selling is another method some people use to make bets against a certain stock. What they do is borrow shares from someone who owns them and then sell those shares, hoping that the price of the shares will go down. This is a way the wealthy have made a lot of money, by being able to predict when stock prices will drop. Selling short is a different way of dealing with stocks. Instead of buying and then selling, you do the opposite. You sell something you don't own. This might sound strange, but here's how it works. When you sell short, you're selling stocks you've borrowed from your broker. You sell these stocks to someone else, and now you owe your broker those shares. Even though you got money from selling them, you need to use that money to buy the shares back later. This is how you pay back your broker for lending you the shares. If you find this video informative, like and subscribe to this channel for more educational content. Let's continue. The aim is to sell the shares for a high price and then buy them back later when their price drops. The difference between the higher selling price and the lower buying price becomes your profit. This might involve borrowing money through your margin account, so you're in debt for the shares you borrowed. When you buy the shares back to return them to your broker, you'll pay the buying price. This price is like a debit because you're spending money. Once you've returned the shares, your broker can give them back to where they originally came from. This whole process is now done using computers and happens automatically. However, there's a risk. The problem with short selling is that the losses you can face are not limited. This means that if the stock price goes up instead of down, the short sellers could end up losing much more money than they originally put in. Number 5. Using debt for living expenses. Finally, some investors, especially those with a lot of money, use debt in clever ways to manage their finances and taxes. Instead of selling assets and facing taxes, they can borrow money to cover their living expenses. Here's how they do it. For instance, they might borrow against their investment portfolio using something called a margin loan. This way, they don't have to sell any of their stocks immediately. They can repay the loan later by selling stocks that have decreased in value, which helps them avoid capital gains taxes. People with a lot of wealth can also use credit lines backed by their valuable assets. They pay off these loans in ways that have the best tax advantages. For example, they might sell a property that's not taxed in most places, or they might sell investments that are making losses. They can also use income from dividends, which are often taxed at a lower rate than regular income. And if they sell stocks that have increased in value, but are taxed at a lower rate than high income, that's a strategic move too. To give an example, let's look at Elon Musk again, the world's richest person. When he needs money, he doesn't have to sell his Tesla shares right away and face taxes. Instead, he can use these shares as a guarantee to get loans, kind of like a credit card. This way, he can access billions in cash whenever he needs it for whatever he wants to do. While many people think of debt as something that can drag down your finances, it's possible to use it in a smart way that goes against what most people believe. When used wisely and handled carefully, debt can help individuals buy things they wouldn't be able to otherwise. This can lead to much bigger returns on their investments. It's all about knowing how to make debt positively work for you. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more valuable financial guidance.